Yeah, what's up? We're here in Barcelona in one of the Hall of Fames, and this is a nice production by Slider, ELFI, and Yubia. In this production, they made a greenish background and these greenish bubbles, and on top they have like the contrast colors of the yellow and the orange and some purple and a really sharp outline in. I don't think it's black. Oh, maybe it is black actually. Black or maybe a super dark purple. Around the pieces you can also see that they are yoing a lot of other riders such as Bates and Deco and the crew WOK, which Slider is also a part of. We have a super nice character here in the middle, a girl with the spray can. Super nice, super simple. They made their pieces with this fill-in colors that are red and yellow and orange, and then as a background they have this green, darker green, and then they made all these bubbles around it. But what is super smart is that they made this character in between, where the character's hair is actually the bubbles behind the pieces. Her hair is actually flowing all over the pieces. Her hair is also there, and also down here and down here. And that is a really nice way of combining the different artworks together. That's a great tip for you if you're making your productions with your homies and some from your crew. Make a character that is interacting between all of the pieces. I really like the kind of old school vibe in some of these fill-ins. For instance, in this ELFI, where we have a lot of details, a lot of bubbles. We even have some fire coming up, and we have a lot of these fadings inside the fill-ins. As you might notice, ELFI is not using white that much for highlights. ELFI is using some lighter purple instead that is acting as highlights. So this also shows us that you don't need to use the white for white lines to make your piece pop. You can also just take a very bright color that fits your fill-in colors to make it pop even more. We also have these super nice fat cap. It's kind of a New Yorker and a pink dot fat cap combined into this character vibe, also holding a peace flower sign. So let's analyze one of these Yubia pieces. Yubia is a really great writer here from Barcelona. I love her outlines. I love her small characters that she's putting inside of her arrows and her outlines. And she has this really old school straight letter kind of vibe to her outlines and to her pieces. And I really like the way that she's just super bold in her letters. It's not like completely wild style, but it's not straight letter either. It's just it's like this old school combined with this modern old school. If you're looking at the details inside of the fill-in, there's a lot of bricks, there's a lot of drips, and there's a lot of bubbles, and she's doing a lot of fading between the colors. So you can see here is yellow, and then it turns to like kind of curry vibes, and then to the lighter yellow again. And then on top of it, she's tagging inside the fill-in, like she's making her tag inside the fill-in in the red to make it pop even more. If we take a look at the white lines, the piece has been lit from this angle. So everything that the light touches first, here, and here, and here, and here, is being lit up. And this is super classical for this old school, modern, old school kind of style. And a detail as this one is also super classic. Instead of just pulling the outline all the way, she actually ends up with just two dots. It's a very nice style element that she's putting onto her piece. In the bottom there are yoing again, the skull, deek and hen. We have some nice hearts and the peace flower from before. Super nice production by these three great writers. If we take a look at this Slider piece, you can really see that his style shines through. I absolutely love Slider. Great painter. You can see that he's doing this kind of wild style where he's combining the letters and overlapping a lot of the outlines. He's really pushing the letters together. This little detail at the force field, aura, whatever you want to call it, also super great because it resembles like a little bit of a star, maybe a small explosion, something like that. It's also super nice detail here in the top of the L. He started purple, then he went orange, but he's fading it in, and then he did two different details inside that fill-in, which this one is a detail, but it also acts kind of like a highlight. It's not white, but it's super light purple, and then he has this curry kind of color inside it. I just think it works really well about blending some colors and then putting some details on top of it. So that's a super great detail from Slider. And as you can see at this force field as well, he's using the green in this color here and then another color over there. Great way of showing that you don't have to stick to one color all the time when you're doing a force field. You can switch it up, you can do whatever you like, whatever you feel like fits into your piece, and I just think it really makes it pop a lot. This Slider is absolutely one of the best. I really like the way that It's a super simple S. You can see it's almost just like a Blockbuster. But then he adds a lot of details around it and some extra bits and pieces. He did some cuts and he did some bubbles from the outline, extra dots over here, and it's just really nice way of working with it. When you take a look at the fill-in, he has really done a great work of making this kind of simple S pop a lot, because he has a lot of fadings in between colors, and then he's working a lot with these details inside the fill-in, with the orange and the purple and the curry kind of vibe down here and the bubbles. I really think that's a great way of showing that you can make super simple letters, but then if you advance your fill-in, then you really take a mediocre piece into a great piece. And Slider is just a great writer. He's super talented. Go check out his stuff.